Good evening, my name is Cynthia McKenna and this is Africa, and today I'm bubbling with excitement because we have a new chair to the World Trade Organization.
I'm very proud to be the first African. I'm proud to be the first woman. But I always tell people that the important thing is to have the competence to deliver the results. In other words, if you're the first woman and the first African and you can't deliver, that doesn't help.
Nigerian NGOZI OKONJO Iweala is the new chair lady to the World Trade Organization. Chair lady, that is so great to say. She is the first lady and the first African to have this seat. But as she said, it's not about being fast, it's about delivery. And she has her work cut out for her.
Okonjo Iweala does have her work cut out. She will need to broker international trade talks in the face of persistent US-China conflict, respond to pressure to reform trade rules, and counter heightened protectionism.
All right.
Yeah, she has to be the mediator between US and China. I am so glad I'm not in her seat. And I just love her dressing. In fact, just wait.
A few moments later.
Embracing the African dressing. Don't I just look amazing? Now, this wasn't Dr. NGOZI's first. She was the first female Minister of Finance in her country and the first female president of the World Bank. And looks like she delivered because the people of Nigeria had this to say about her.
Her achievements as a lady has actually made we young ladies to actually have the drive to do more. If she can do it, we all can do it.
3 months after being rejected by the administration of former US President Donald Trump, an endorsement by his successor, Joe Biden, saw Okonjo Iweala get unanimous approval for the job.
That position is long overdue when you take cognizance of what Okonjo Iweala has put in this nation.
You heard that right. She nearly didn't get the position because of Trump. Say what you will about that guy, but he got things done. And looks like Biden is left behind trying to clean up all his mess. Thank God he backed up our girl, Dr. NGOZI, so that she could get the position. Now, the interesting thing about this list of candidates vying for this position was that we had two other Africans. We had the Egyptian Abdel Hamid, and we also had our very own Amina Mohammed. Now, shocking news. Trump was actually vying for or backing a female Korean. Female Korean. Now, do you remember when I said this? It looks like Ebola is tired of being sidelined as COVID-19 takes all the attention. So Ebola is making a comeback. A woman in the Democratic Republic of Congo was found to have the virus. She unfortunately did succumb to it. And I am hoping to God that this is the only case we have in the continent, because you and I know our continent can only take one deadly virus at a time. I think I might have jinxed us because unfortunately, Guinea was found to have new cases of Ebola.
Guinea's health agency says the West African nation is dealing with an epidemic after 3 people died of Ebola. The victims were all in the southeast of the country. The cause of their deaths was confirmed after lab tests in the capital, Conakry. There was a total of 7 cases, including 3 deaths. Of the 7, 4 were men and 3 were women. 3 were isolated, 1 in Conakry and 2 in Nezakore.
We now not only have to deal with a pandemic, but also an epidemic. And it's said that the people of Guinea got this virus from a funeral.
Some people who took part in the funeral began a few days later to experience diarrhea, vomiting, bleeding and fever. The first samples were confirmed on February the 12th.
You know what? I believe in us. We did exceptionally well last year with the coronavirus. We can beat both of this and show the world who's boss. You and I know our continent can only take one deadly virus at a time. What? It's here. There's nothing we can do about it. We can either be positive or negative. Right, West Africa?
I was in panic. I couldn't even control myself when I learned that Ebola had returned to Guinea because of what the virus did in 2013 and 2014 in Guinea, Sierra Leone and Liberia. We are Africans. We are poor. And if diseases like Ebola or the coronavirus appear in Africa, it's only God who will save us. I'm really surprised. Given the current situation in Guinea, we Guineans are struggling with the COVID-19 pandemic. And now with Ebola, it will be a real disaster.
Really? You couldn't back me up? You know what? It's okay. I know the World Health Organization agrees with me, right?
The virus hit Guinea hard and caused similar devastation in neighboring countries. This time, the World Health Organization says it's on full alert and is seeking to make vaccine doses available as quickly as possible. Guinea's government says its diagnosis time has been reduced to less than 2 weeks compared to 3.5 months in 2014. With COVID-19 already causing great hardship in Guinea, it's a race against time now to contain Ebola and prevent even greater calamity.
The World Health Organization has got our back with the vaccine. And speaking of the coronavirus, 60% of the cases found in Zimbabwe are of the COVID-19 South African variant. We also have cases in Botswana, Ghana, Gambia, and Zambia. Now, this comes just a few weeks after Zimbabwe buried 3 of their top officials found with the virus. Look at that funeral. Now, that is what I call social distancing. Now, this led to the extension of the lockdown for another 2 weeks, which is great for the virus, not necessarily for the people. According to an article done by Al Jazeera, many of the people feel like they can't follow the lockdown guidelines because they're scared that they might die of hunger. But it's not all bad news, as the Ministry of Health of Zimbabwe tweeted that the vaccine has landed, or rather it landed on Monday. The Sinopharm vaccine, I really hope this is not another case like the AstraZeneca one.
In much awaited news, the COVAX facility, which is the vaccine component of the ACT Accelerator platform, has informed African countries of the first allocations of COVID-19 vaccines. Nearly 90 million doses of the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine could start arriving on the continent later this month.
Yesterday, South Africa announced that it was putting a temporary hold on the rollout of the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine after a study showed it was minimally effective at preventing mild to moderate disease caused by a variant first identified in South Africa.
This is why I am so glad that Dr. NGOZI said this last year in a press conference.
If I became WTO DG, I would have a very strong collaboration with the Tools Accelerator, which has WHO, the CEPI, Gavi, to work towards this, to make sure that there are no barriers, no restrictions on the availability of these vaccines, whilst respecting the intellectual property rights of those who have manufactured the vaccines. The world should be able to come to the point where the mechanisms are put in place to also make those vaccines available. And the world trading system should be a facilitator of that, and not an impediment. So that would be, I would combine the role of WTO DG with the experience I've had from Gavi to ensure this, because I think it's critical that everyone have access to life-saving vaccines.
Well, Dr. NGOZI, you are now the DG of the WTO. Sounds like a rap name. But you are the Director General of the World Trade Organization. And we are going to hold you to your word. The hashtag Kisii County Assembly is trending for being the 8th county to pass the BBI bill. Don't celebrate or cry too early because we have many more counties to go. The votes were unanimous, which means everyone was like, yep, that's a great idea. Which is weird, because even Jesus had one disciple who was like, I don't know about this whole Christian thing. Dennis Nyambane said that the Kisii people chose the matoke factories over pushing the bananas with wheelbarrows. That's just shade. This story is so big, it carries most of the trending hashtags today, with hashtag Pesa Mashinani and hashtag Joash Maangi, who is the governor of the county, also trending. Hashtag Naomi Osaka is also trending for beating Serena Williams 6-3, 6-4, and now she is in for the Australian Open Finals. And guess what? She represents Japan. That's it from Twitter Check. Now to Out of Time. Ghana has introduced a new set of school uniforms. These uniforms are made from the country's famous Ankara fashion. You know, with this whole Ankara fashion and Dr. NGOZI starting a whole fashion frenzy, we are starting an African fashion revolution. Wakanda forever. Meanwhile, the President Tshisekedi, the President of the Democratic Republic of Congo, and our new chair of the African Union has announced a new Prime Minister. Prime Minister Sama Lukonde is replacing the former Prime Minister, Sylvester Ilunga. Don't feel too bad for him, he resigned. But this is a move in hope that the cabinet would be more loyal to the President as opposed to the former President, Joseph Kabila. You know, speaking of former presidents, the former president of South Africa, Jacob Zuma, might actually go to jail. This is because he skipped a hearing. He is facing charges for corruption and fraud during his term as president. And I'm not saying he's guilty, but back in 2016, he did renovate his personal home for about $12 million. And he also created something like a fire pool. Like, it's a swimming pool that is supposed to be a fire extinguisher. That's how he explained it. That's the excuse he used when he was asked why he's using government funds to fund his personal home renovation. Like I said, I'm not saying he's guilty. That's it from me. My name is Cynthia McKenna. This is Africa. See you next week, same time, same day on This Is the Day. T'Challa, if only you were here to see the dressing revolution. Wakanda forever.